Georgia Governor Brian Kemp declares a state of emergency for Chattanooga and Floyd counties after heavy rain causes flash floods in what is being called a 1 in 200 year event. Good evening, I'm Scott Koral. Thanks for joining us for News 12 at 11. The scenes are overwhelming. For the mayor of one Chattanooga County town, a 24-hour rainfall has triumphed both shocked and ready to help those most in need. It's tonight's top local story. We begin with breaking news. People are saying 4 people are dead after another mass shooting at a mall in the south suburbs of Indianapolis. Officers say a man with a rifle opened fire in a food court around 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it was an armed civilian who shot him.
For the first time in nearly 2 years, masks are not required on airplanes after the travel mask mandate was struck down. That means the TSA will not enforce the rule at airports and other transportation hubs.
The news comes after a federal judge in Florida today ruled that the CDC exceeded its authority and failed to follow proper rulemaking. The question now is, will the federal government appeal that decision? Nikki Batiste has the details. Good evening, I'm Scott Koral. Thanks for joining us for News 12 now at 11. Emily and Andrew have the night off. Chattanooga's Industrial Development Board has unanimously approved the tax increment financing district for the South Broad Lookout Stadium project. The project will now go to the City Council for a final vote. News 12's Chris Guin attended the meeting and explains what he learned as the project nears approval. It's tonight's top local story. Chattanooga police need your help finding out what led to a fatal shooting yesterday afternoon. Police say they got a call from Erlanger East Hospital that a shooting victim showed up and later died. The department now knows 22-year-old Christopher Harris of Johnson City was shot in the 2500 block of O'Rear Street, but not a lot else. If you have any information, contact Chattanooga Police. You don't have to give your name. In Walker County, the sheriff's office needs help to solve a fatal shooting in Rossville this afternoon. It happened at a home at the 400 block of East Peachtree Street. Deputies say 29-year-old Dakota Bradshaw was standing in front of a window inside his house when 2 cars pulled up in his driveway, shot him, and sped away. Witnesses tell police they were a red Chevy or GMC pickup and a dark-colored Dodge Charger or Challenger. Anyone with information is asked to call the Walker County Sheriff's Office. In Dade County, a man pleads guilty to 1 count of vehicular homicide and 2 counts of serious injury by vehicle. The crash happened in October of 2019 when Logan Gordy was a high school senior. He went joyriding down a hilly and curvy road and ultimately caused the death of his passenger, Lexi Moore. 2 others were hurt in the crash. Gordy will serve 8 months in the county jail and then serve 10 years of probation in the plea agreement. Tennessee's sales tax holiday on clothing, school supplies, and computers just ended yesterday. But the volunteer state isn't done granting tax breaks just yet. News 12's Jordan Simmel has more on the details. Thank you, Jordan. Now to national news. The leader of al-Qaeda is dead. Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed by a drone strike authorized by President Biden over the weekend. The 71-year-old was heavily involved in the planning of 9/11, and his death means all the key plotters in the attack are either dead or captured. CBS's Natalie Brand has the details. President Biden says there were no civilian casualties in the strike. Now, what would you rather take, the elevator or the stairs? Most of us would probably opt for the free ride on the elevator, but I'm just going to say this. If you live on the 2nd floor, take the stairs. Troy Alston is one Chattanoogan who likes that last option all the time. News 12's Dave Staley explains in tonight's edition of More to the Story with Staley. Thanks, Dave. Alston says older stair runners are usually better than the younger ones, and that's because they have more experience dealing with the pain. When it comes to children learning, the aquarium is right in the center of it. Last week it was about rockets and the physics of the air. That still leaves what happens in the water. That's tonight's What's Right with our schools. If you know something positive that is happening in our schools, we'd love to hear about it. Just email us at news@WDEF.com and you might see your idea on a future edition of What's Right with our schools. Now imagine what would have happened if the Cubs and Braves consummated last year's proposed trade. Chris Bryant for Austin Riley and prospects. Rick Nyman is here to say that's likely a good thing it didn't happen in the Armor Exterior Sports Desk. Menominee High School has been empty for months. First, heavy rains caused the roof to collapse and flooding on the 2nd floor. In the aftermath of the storm, asbestos was found in the flooring. Students and faculty are at home, and parents and their children feel defeated.
It's frustrating. It definitely puts a damper on mother-child relationships, all the nagging to get your schoolwork done, and I'm trying. So we've decided to take a different route, which is watching him through the camera at home to be sure he's on school.
Some kids go to school just to see that one person. Some kids go to school just to eat lunch. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to know that they're not getting any of that. Like nothing's helping, and it really sucks to know that.
Tonight, the school board wanted to hear from parents about how this was affecting them, and it didn't take long.
It shouldn't take us a semester to find an alternative location for our students.
I can't even begin to tell you how frustrating it is. The amount of work that we're putting into this day in and day out, and the frustration just gets building higher and higher and higher. And, you know, our expectations to be in that building, and it's like we're taking 3 steps forward and 2 backwards, and 3 steps forwards and 2 backwards, and we're just not getting to that end point that we want to be.
A meeting this afternoon showed more suspicious dust in the school, so it needs a thorough cleaning. That makes the latest January 17th return date a no-go, and that's frustrating to parents and students alike.
If it's going to take a little bit longer, that's fine, but we need a plan and we need our kids in school.
2 days a week, switch on and off. I don't really care how that works, but just something. We've gotten like 16 dates since we started school, so I have absolutely no hope in going back to school, but I really would like to see it.
In Menominee, Scott Koral, Action 2 News. The accident that took the life of 11-year-old Easton Tome wasn't just a tragedy for the family, it was a tragedy for the whole community.
He's Berlin's child. He's not just their child, he's Berlin's child.
That was on display as close to 200 people came to Riverside Park for a candlelight vigil in honor of 11-year-old Easton Tome, who was killed this past Sunday in a hunting accident. Most dressed in the blaze orange of hunting gear, which is also the color of the hearts for the community fundraiser.
We come from a hunting community, and we just wanted to show that orange has become Easton's color. And it's all about him and the love for him.
The love also showed up in the form of donations and community merchandise, like orange mugs with Easton's name on it. A local drink shop, Core Energy, sells drinks called the Blaze Orange. All the proceeds from those items will go to the Tome family. The co-organizers say the outpouring of support continues to show the true colors of the community, now blaze orange for Easton.
It's made me proud of where we're from, because so many people have come together for this family.
They should just be able to grieve in peace and not have to worry financially or anything. They should just be able to do whatever they need to do to make it through this.
The community will continue to help the Tome family. Organizers of Saturday morning's Berlin Blitz say half of the proceeds of food items and all of the proceeds from St. Nick photos and raffle items will go to the Tome family. In Berlin, Scott Koral, Action 2 News. What if your life hung in the balance in the next 60 days? What would your Christmas be like? That was the question before Pulaski's Joe Schmidt. Less than 60 days ago, Schmidt needed a kidney. Facing stage 5 end-stage renal kidney disease, Schmidt needed one fast. While on dialysis, he'd never publicly let on that he was struggling.
When I first met him, I actually didn't understand the severity of how sick he was. And in coming to know them, they really explained their story. And I'm like, you know, he does so much with his kids and so much for his family that you would not think that he is ill, because he's truly, as long as I'd known him, seemed to be living like he was dying, which he really was. And he puts his whole heart and soul into his family.
Schmidt and wife Angie have 6 children. All of them live with Joe's dialysis machine. 12 hours of treatment a day, 7 days a week. Grace Cody, a friend of the family, thought she had to do something to help. What she did ended up possibly saving Joe's life. She made a 4-minute video about Joe's journey, the ups, the downs, and the in-between. She also wrote to the people at the charity organization Best Christmas Ever to help the family.
I have never met a more deserving family. I wish I could take their burdens away, so I'm hoping that Best Christmas Ever program can truly give them the best Christmas ever.
Then came October 27th. Joe got the call. A donor kidney was a match. He'd have surgery within the next 24 hours.
It's been a roller coaster because we were on this really low. We had a pretty bad doctor visit right before the transplant where we knew like our days were limited. So we were really low, and then we got the call for the transplant, which was like amazing, like the best day of our life. And then you just kind of think things are in the clear now. We got the transplant.
The surgery was a success. On November 11th, Joe rang the bell to leave Mayo Clinic as a successful transplant recipient. The family then got another surprise.
We have quite a few gifts we want to give you. They're for all of you.
An hour later, this walks in our door. Like, it's incredible.
The Schmidts learned they are the recipients of the best Christmas ever. Toys for the kids, a new playset for the backyard, a new smoker and grill, and a new roof for the house. All of it has Joe thinking about how blessed he and his family have been the last 60 days.
We've had multiple times now where, well, if we didn't get the transplant, either I wouldn't be here or we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now because we'd have to be home hooked up for everything. So, yeah, it's amazing.
In Pulaski, Scott Koral, Action 2 News. The Great Resignation. As of November of 2021, 3% of healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, aides, and others quit the job and got out of the field in the middle of a pandemic. That's more than at any time this century. In Tennessee, juries are allowed to take lesser charges into account when judging one's guilt or innocence. In Benjamin Brown's case, it may have saved him from facing one more night in prison. Celeste Murphy understands the history behind becoming Chattanooga's first female police chief. She's not in this for history. She's in it to leave a legacy. The controversy surrounding the McMinn County School Board with its unanimous vote to remove Art Spiegelman's book Mouse from its 8th grade curriculum made international news a few weeks ago. Today, Spiegelman spoke to people in McMinn County and plainly explained that decision isn't about what age kids should learn certain topics. Good Monday night. Let's have a better Tuesday.